Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Hey, do the voice. Yeah.
Welcome back to Dr. Barry's Monday Night Life. This is a forward step in our progress towards educating humans.
That is good.
I know. I've watched it too much.
Anybody? Who is that? Who is that?
Watching that show.
Excellent impersonation. Welcome back to the next edition
of Monday Night Live.
We are happy to be here with you. I'm happy it's Monday.
Was last week when we didn't have internet?
Week before, I think. I don't know.
It's hard to. Yes, Elizabeth Holmes. That's right.
Elizabeth Holmes. That's it. That was really good, right, Victoria? Yeah, that was legit. Now, let's get as many people watching this tonight as possible. You're welcome to share this on your favorite social media. And don't forget to remind Aunt Bessie and Uncle Elmer, because you know they always forget. Send them a text right now. Tell them to tune in.
Hit the thumb. Hit the thumb.
Yes.
YouTube loves it.
They love the thumbs. All right, guys. For the next hour, we're going to answer as many questions as we possibly can.
You let that go.
Let that go. Okay. All right. I 10. All right, guys. Thank you, Vince, for sharing. Anybody else?
Thank you. Yeah, new hair.
Oh, I thought.
New hair. No.
Yeah. Neisha cut my hair in the front yard, actually, this time. Not even the backyard. Because our backyard is currently janked
underwater.
Up. Yeah. Construction and chert and gravel and 3 feet of water.
Yeah.
So
I know everybody's wanting to update, and it's like there's literally nothing to update. It's muddy.
It rains every 3 days, and so construction cannot proceed in a pond, and that's currently what we have back there.
That's
so
what we keep being told, anyway.
I want to get mad at the contractor. I'm like, the weather is not really his fault. So
No, we can't get mad at him.
I'll let it go.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for being here. If you're new, welcome. Type new in the comments.
Yes. Let's see who all's new. First time you've ever caught a live.
I'm just gonna, Also, if you're new, we do this every Monday night at 7 Central, as long as the internet is working.
And the creeks don't rise.
And I haven't went into labor, which I shouldn't for several more months. So we should be good.
That's right. We should be good. Oh, man, we got a ton of new people. Welcome, guys. Welcome. I love that. New members of the tribe, new neighbors, new friends. Welcome. Bob's new. Lee is new. Cindy's new. Cindy Lou
is new.
Renee is old. No, you're not. You're never old, damn it.
I think she means OG.
I see. You're an established figure. Yes. Well, welcome, guys. Okay, let's do some questions. Neisha Solis-Hyphenberry.
All right, Rob. Thanks for the super chat. He says 3 months carnivore, and I've had my labs done. Glucose is 112. Docs prescribed me metformin, 500 milligrams twice a day with meals. Should I take this when I am fasting? If I am fasting 20 hours with a 4-hour eating window, or should I wait and take it with my meals, or should I take it 12 hours apart without meals?
Well, Rob, it's hard for me to answer that question because either your doctor didn't check an A1C or you didn't tell me what your A1C was. This is a great teaching moment for everybody. Rob's fasting glucose was 112.
It went away already.
Or 110.
112.
112. Okay. Now, Rob could have an A1C of 5.5. And his fasting blood sugar be 112. He could also have an A1C of 9 and his fasting blood sugar be 112. Fasting blood sugar gives you very, very, very little information. So any of you guys, if you haven't had an A1C checked, you literally don't know if you have a normal A1C or if you're pre-diabetic or if you're type 2 diabetic. Now, let's assume you're pre-diabetic, Rob. Then you can take it every day, every 24 hours, because metformin, glucophage, does not bottom your blood sugar out like many of the other diabetic medications. So you can take that one every day. It's fine if you are pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetic. Now, if any of you guys have a normal A1C, 5.6 or lower, and you're still taking metformin or glucophage, call your doctor and say, hey, I'm not even pre-diabetic anymore. Can I stop taking this now? Yeah.
Instagram messages. That is the very worst way to try to get in touch with either one of us. It is where we are least active in the messages.
We get tons of messages
because we're overflowing. and it's impossible for us to find anybody's message. So I'm very sorry about that. The best thing to do is ask your question here.
Picky MF Pickle. I like your handle though. That's a good handle.
And if it's something that you don't want to put out there publicly, then you can join the Patreon website for Dr. Berry, or you can join my coaching group. And then there we can answer direct messages. And that's where we spend most of our time, because obviously those are our founding members, basically. So they get first dibs on our time, except for on Monday Night Lives.
I'm looking, Pickle. I don't see you. Yeah, I mean,
it's very hard.
Instagram is a terrible way to message.
Yeah, their inbox is also, it filters messages out that maybe shouldn't be filtered out. So that's the very worst way.
Just answer your question. Ask your question here, Pickle.
Here, he might be uncomfortable asking.
Well, maybe I understand. So if you guys have any question you'd love to ask me, but you're uncomfortable, that's what Patreon is for.
Yeah, it's for the personal things. It's still not medical advice.
That's right. It says so.
Tia, if I'm not hungry, but I'm concerned about my hair loss from not getting enough protein, should I just fast, or do I need to force some protein in?
You need to make sure you're getting adequate protein every single day, Tia. Unless you're doing a 2-day fast or something, in which case you're not going to get any protein in that day. And if you've got a lot of stored body fat to burn, then you may be doing 2 or 3 day fasts. But if you're having some hair fall or hair loss, you probably need to get adequate protein every day.
Molly wants to know, can intermittent fasting affect fertility? I'm trying to get pregnant, but I don't want to affect my chances. Intermittent fasting, probably not. That's appropriate. All of us intermittent fast, as we don't eat for several hours while we're sleeping. But if I would say that stops at about 16 hours. So if you're fasting past 16 hours, then yes, that can. Yeah. Because you want your body to feel safe and fed, and that there is plenty of food available, because that is going to decrease the stress on your body and tell it it's fine. We have plenty of food. Yes. It's fine to get pregnant.
You want your belly to be full of lots of healthy fat and healthy protein. That is a wonderful signal to your reproductive hormones and organs that this is a good time to get knocked up.
You just like saying that.
I love saying that.
Miss Lynn says, at 256, so I did a blood donation the next day. Was that needed? ALT. Sorry.
Yeah, so
ALT was too
ALT has nothing to do with if you have too many red blood cells, or if you have hemochromatosis. That's a liver marker. That means that your liver is very, very inflamed for some reason. There's multiple things that could cause your ALT to be high like that.
Kim, this is a really great question. Is there a good ketogenic monitor to get? And is this the same as a glucose monitor?
Yes and no.
So there are many ketogenic monitors that check blood ketones on the market. The one that we are most familiar with is the Keto Mojo, which tests ketones, and it also tests blood glucose. So it's a 2-in-1. 2 different strips, one tests ketones and one tests glucose. It's very good, fairly accurate as far as we can tell on both ends. So if you're wanting to test your glucose and your ketones, that's probably the best bet. I think there's one more that does both, but I can't remember the name of it.
And the Keto Mojo, they have their own portal. They have their own app on the phone that you can put all that stuff in automatically. It tracks all that stuff. It's a very well thought out product and app that goes along with it.
They put a lot of work into it.
Absolutely.
All right. Oops, sorry.
I'll find one if you can't find
one.
I
can find one. It just is okay.
James, thoughts on spirulina? If you're eating a standard American crap diet, you might benefit from taking daily spirulina. But if you're eating a proper human diet, then there's nothing in the spirulina that you're missing out on.
Foracare is another one that does both. Yeah.
Sky's going to join Patreon on Wednesday.
All right. Sky. Hey, Abigail. Thank you.
See you Wednesday.
Tangi wants to know, can you suggest an A1C tester that is at home?
Yeah, I have a deal with a company that makes one. They make it in the United States. It's a very reliable meter.
I think it's back there.
It is right here. Oh, yeah. Good. Okay, there you go. So it is PTS Diagnostics.
I'm not sure if that's backwards or not.
I don't know if it's backwards.
No, it's not. It's right.
Not? Okay. Yeah, that's it right there. And in any of my YouTube videos about A1C, you're going to find a link to this with a built-in discount. And you get 4 tests. So you can check your blood sugar every 3 months for a year with this guy, made in the U.S., very reliable, reputable company. And we actually use this one ourselves.
Mine was 4.8.
I think I could fast for 3 solid months and mine still wouldn't be 4.8.
Well, I'm a different human.
You are a different human.
Oh, Jennifer, hang on. Sorry. Okay. Trying to help a couple of friends. Can keto or carnivore help with EDS and or POTS? And what about juvenile arthritis?
Yeah, all 3 of those are going to, at the a very worst case scenario, they're going to get less severe. Okay. Some people, especially with POTS, they notice a significant improvement, a decrease in their symptoms. And so, yeah, I would recommend either keto or carnivore. If they could be happy eating fatty meat and eggs and never miss vegetables, then just start carnivore. If they need some vegetables.
Why did that just start?
Your stuff's been doing that all day. That's so really weird. I think Neisha's apple is haunted. You have a haunted apple.
Abigail, are there still benefits if you're eating a vegetarian keto diet?
So definitely, if you're eating the highest fat vegetarian diet that you can get your hands on, so hopefully,
with good protein.
Please tell me you're including egg yolks and some full fat cheese, definitely some butter. Hopefully egg yolks, though. Really, hopefully egg yolks.
Does vegetarian also include seafood?
I hope so. Yeah, crustaceans, shellfish, oysters, mussels. All that stuff is they're superfoods. They're full of vitamins and minerals that you're just not going to get in plant foods. And so I think you can do a fairly decent vegetarian keto. But if you're trying to do vegan keto, I see people out there say it's possible, but I've yet to have anybody send me their macros and go, yeah, that's not nearly enough fat and it's way too many carbs.
And not enough protein.
And not enough absorbable protein. That's protein, right. Yeah. Exactly.
Kevin, thank you so much. If you look at the pinned comment, one of our PhD mentors has the link to the A1C meter with the discount already applied. So if you're interested in that, that's in the pinned post right now.
Yep. And we have Kevin, PhD mentor. We have Paola and we have Mitzi. They are moderators. They have a little blue wrench beside their name. And if they see a newcomer's question, they're going to answer you in the comments. So be looking for an answer in the comments if you ask a question. Those are
Dr. Berry approved answers.
Yeah, they're all Dr. Berry approved. These guys know their stuff.
John, any ideas berberine versus metformin? Does berberine work for blood sugar control?
A good quality berberine works virtually as well as metformin or glucophage. It's basically an over-the-counter version. They're made the same way from the same plant if it's a quality berberine. Now, keep in mind, berberine is not FDA approved, and I know sometimes that doesn't mean much. I know. But in this case, you want consistency when you're taking something every day, whether it's a prescription or whether it's an over-the-counter. And if berberine is made by a fly-by-night concern, then you may not be getting any berberine in your daily dose, and then tomorrow you might be getting a 10x dose. So make sure you buy it from a reputable company, but it does help with hyperinsulinemia and insulin resistance.
To be clear, because I don't know, people can read into things sometimes. The moderators can't answer every question either. So, they're doing the best they can.
All of us are
doing the best we can.
Exactly, yeah.
There are 2,200 people on here, so we can't answer as many as we wish that we could. But
Natalie Stone is exactly right. All you guys read ingredients very carefully. If you see maltodextrin, that is literally sugar. That's another name that they can use to call sugar something that won't trigger you. So you're like, oh, this doesn't have any sugar in it. Maltodextrin is sugar. Yes.
Clarissa, do I need to worry about eating low sodium? I have cardiomyopathy and heart failure.
Yeah, there's actually quite a bit of research that shows that people with heart failure, if they eat too low sodium, their heart failure actually does worse. So there's quite a bit of research about this. Dr. James D. Nicolantonio has a great book about this called The Salt Fix. And he actually lists the research in there. My videos about salt on this YouTube channel also list the research studies showing that eating too little sodium is bad for your heart. It is not good for your heart. So you may want to print that study out and take it to your cardiologist.
Strangeosity. I'm trying to lose weight, which is more important to watch. Calories or carbs? I can eat broccoli, low cal, some carbs, or fatty meat, lots of calories and no carbs. Which is better? That's a fantastic question.
There's a reason that keto got popular a few years ago, and it's still popular today. You know how fad diets go. Remember the cabbage soup diet?
Yes.
Remember the grapefruit diet? Remember, they got super popular. Everybody was doing it. And then 6 months later, Nobody was doing it. The reason that keto is still so popular, the reason that just regular people, mechanics, hairdressers, people that work at Walmart have started Facebook groups about keto is because it does things for you that no other weight optimization method does. Yes, keto, low carb. That's absolutely. If you've got extra fat, forget about the calories. We've been counting calories since the 1950s as we all progressively got fatter and fatter. First of all, you can't knowingly know how many calories are in something. You can't know how many calories you actually need. You can't know how many calories you actually burn. Carbs, total carbs, keep it under 20 total grams a day, and you will, my friend, burn the fat.
Thank you, Karen. There was a really good question. Etienne, where did you go?
Find it.
I got it.
Hey
guys, Keto Mojo shows a glucose ketone index. What is this and is it important? So there's a whole lot of great information on the Keto Mojo website that goes into great detail about ketone levels, what this means, what that means. But do you know a short, sweet answer to this?
Yeah. So the glucose ketone index is the GKI. That's a rough proxy marker for insulin production and insulin resistance. It is not a good marker, but it's a rough marker. And so really what you want to know is what is your blood sugar and what are your ketones? Lots of people try to make the ratio and make it mean more than it actually does. It's somewhat helpful, but not very.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Carrie, I got my labs back. A1C 5.1, white cell count, normal for the first time in many, many trips around the sun. Pretty awesome for this lady with healing psoriasis, and inflammation is gone. Thank you for your guidance.
How many of you guys would like to have a hemoglobin A1C of 5.1? Just keep cutting the carbs, eat more fatty meat, eat more eggs with the yolk, eat until you're comfortably stuffed, and just cut the carbs. Keep cutting the carbs, and eventually you too will have a normal A1C, I promise.
Jess says, I started my keto journey last week. Welcome to the club. Can I eat any amount of red meat, eggs in a day?
You can eat as much fatty meat as you want, as much eggs with the yolk as you want. Eat until you can't eat another bite. Now, I said eat as much as you want, not eat as much as you possibly can. There's a difference, right? So when you're eating your steak and your eggs and you're like, whoa, dang, I'm full. That's it. I can't eat anymore. That's where you need to stop. That's your body telling you through hormones, you're done.
I have a very hard time finding people who overeat steak and eggs because it's incredibly hard.
Yep. And it doesn't have to be expensive steak. It can be the cheap cut that you pressure cooked. It can be ground beef,
whatever you can
70-30, whatever you can afford. It can be all beef hot dogs. It doesn't matter. But you've got to eat the fatty ruminant meat and all the eggs with the yolks that you can hold. You're going to burn the fat.
Olive, I don't think she's ever sat in my lap this long for a video. All right. Mom on the move. What about keto and ADHD?
I actually have ADHD, and my ADHD is much better controlled on a carnivore diet. I still have it. I still have to structure my life around it. We've had many parents reach out to us and say, well, my kid's eating meat and eggs, they're ADD, they don't even need their medicine anymore. But if they go back to eating the junk, they're a little crazed psycho again, like Dr. Barry used to be when he was in first grade, and the teacher said he'll wind up in prison.
In first grade when you were 50 also.
Also that, yes.
Well,
that
no, 49. I'll give you 50.
Catherine says, we miss seeing Beckett. Well, guess what, Catherine? He's gonna be here towards the end of this video. So just hang out if you want to see baby Beckett.
SJ, I'm working on my weight and blood sugar. I am doing carnivore. What is the best way to fast time-wise? And what's a good brand of berberine? Thanks for all of that you do. So
if you go to Amazon and just pick a berberine that has over 10,000 5-star reviews, that's going to be that's one thing I love about Amazon is people will tell on you if you suck. They will give you bad reviews. And then, fasting is totally up to you, whatever you're comfortable with. You can do an 18-hour fast every day. That's what I do virtually every single day. Or you can do a 2-day fast once a week, or a 3-day fast every 2 weeks, or a 5-day fast once a month. Totally up to you.
Joe, I see lots of messages from young people suffering from really terrible acne. In the near future, could you do a live on acne so people could learn young and how to eat properly to avoid terrible skin issues? He has a YouTube video.
Yeah, Joe, I've got 2 videos on this channel about acne, and they're 2 of my least viewed videos because I think my channel tends to attract 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 somethings, and the youngins are watching cat videos. But if you know a young person, they're watching TikTok. Yeah, if you know a young person that has terrible acne and it really bothers them, tell them to go watch my 2 YouTube videos. You just go to YouTube and type in Dr. Berry Acne, and it'll find them. And then you can click on them and watch them. Then you could share the link with that young person because it's all about the diet. I had terrible acne in high school, and looking back now, I know that if I'd known then what I know now, I would have had maybe 1 pimple a week instead of 10 new ones a day.
Short answer is it's usually dairy and additives.
Dairy and grains and additives. Yeah, that's what it is.
Sherry, thank you both for everything you do. What are your thoughts on salt loading while upping the iodine for a detox? Will the excess iodine cause weight gain?
Definitely not going to cause weight gain, but it's also probably unnecessary, Sherry.
There are several people doing this right now.
Yeah, I know this is a popular thing right now, but it's probably completely unnecessary. The whole concept of detox has been hijacked by social media influencers. You detox when you're not eating. That's what your liver and kidneys are busy doing when you're not eating. That's one of the hundreds of superpowers that fasting give you. You detox naturally for free. You don't have to do any kind of thing you have to buy. You don't have to play any reindeer games. You just don't eat. That is the ultimate detox.
You know what I feel like we should do?
What?
This just hit me. I think we should make a list of like our top things that we hear people complain or have issues about and why that happens. Like, a lot of times I'll see I'm doing keto and I ate high salt and I got a lot of swelling. And then when I say, okay, well, what are you eating? It's almost never just meat and low carb vegetables. It's almost always keto products along in there too. And so it's not really the salt. It's other things, but don't you think that would be an interesting
that'd be a good one. Yeah, did
even alive?
Lee's got one that we hear a lot.
No, I was.
I totally agree. And let me just say this for everybody out there: we don't endorse a single product that says keto on the package.
Well keto mineral drug.
But as far as a protein bar, a snack bar, a cake, a cookie, a pie, none of that stuff is keto. That's a product they're trying to get your money with, okay?
I actually have done reviews on my channel. If you're not following me, Neisha loves it.
Hey, she will kick the chair right out from under
where
them.
they sent me keto products,
and
they're like,
"Will you please
very
review
sorry
this?
that they did that." So.
Please, Neisha, review our product. And she's like, "You sure? Because I'm gonna nail you." Yeah, I love your videos when you do that.
Yeah. So Lee says, I've been on carnivore for 6 weeks. I've lost 10 pounds. But no weight loss in the last 4 weeks. Should I start fasting more and should I cut back to 2 meals a day?
If you're not hungry, I think you can go to 2 meals a day. That's probably going to kickstart the weight loss. And try to eat your 2 meals in a 6-hour feasting window. Do not portion control. Do not calorie count. Eat until you're comfortably stuffed. But that 18-hour fast and the 2 meals a day, that's going to keep your insulin even a notch lower. That's going to spur some fat loss. Absolutely.
I'm glad this is high enough that her butt isn't like shining for everybody.
Karen Nicole Achero Flores. I have multiple videos on this channel about how to fast. I have a fasting 101 playlist that's got maybe 50 videos that will explain it to you in the detail. Then you can fast like a pro, Karen Nicole.
You can also buy Dr. Jason Fung's book.
Yep, that's a good resource as well.
What's it called? Fasting Code, right? Fasting Code?
No, I don't think.
What's it called?
It's called The Complete Guide
to Fasting. There you go. Yeah. Wow, we really have things handy tonight. Go ahead.
Doesn't always work that way.
Of that beautiful name, Dr. Berry, do you have a channel in Espanol?
Yeah, I actually just started Dr. Berry in Espanol. And it has currently just one video about is fruit bad for you? And it's actually dubbed in Spanish.
It's on him.
Yeah, I don't.
No hablo
Un
español.
poquito. So I paid a company an insane amount of money to dub these videos, and we've got 20 more videos coming right now in process that I'll start posting one a week. But if you just search for Dr. Barry in Espanol, if you have a tia or a tío or an abuela or abuelo or a madre or padre, then you can let them watch Dr. Barry in Espanol.
Yeah. Those of you who are Hispanic, you know how prevalent diabetes is.
Oh my God!
In the Hispanic.
Yes, they need it so bad.
And the food does not help anything. Okay, we eat lots of rice. Lots of rice and
beans. When you get tired of that,
mofongo and pastelillos and basically just carbs.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you have a family member, we're doing this for my abuela too, so maybe she will listen to this.
And abuelo,
Abuelo's not going to listen to it. He's not going to listen to it. But yeah, we thought we would invest in this because we want to help as many people as possible, and some people cannot understand his redneck dialect.
I mean, do you think I have an accent? I don't think I have.
Everyone has an accent. Mm-hmm. Everyone has an
People from the Midwest don't have accents.
They have a Midwestern accent. Yes, they do. Anyways, I wanted to mention that.
Yes, Scott says Neisha is really glowing today.
Aww.
I agree. Do you think it's time for a bump update, or should we wait?
What time is it? I think we'll wait a few more minutes. Let's catch up.
Bump update coming. Beckett update coming.
Paola, can you put the link to the Espanol channel too, if you can? John, thoughts on
quercetin and luteolin to reduce uric acid, recommended by Dr. Perlmutter. Yeah, so if you're still eating a junk-filled, highly processed, high-carb diet, then those two supplements might be worth the money for you. But if you'll convert to a proper human diet that's only one ingredient, whole, unprocessed, green veg is the only carbs, a few berries, a few nuts, and then mainly fatty meat and eggs with the yolks. If you'll switch to that diet, then you won't have to worry about gout, first of all, because you'll never have another flare-up. And then secondly, your uric acid is just going to come down naturally. The biggest thing you need to avoid, and there's another book I recommend over Dr. Perlmutter's book. Dr. Perlmutter just came out with a book called Drop Acid. And there's a great title, but the book, Dr. Johnson has a book that really, really breaks it down and makes it very clear that the number 1, 2, and 3 thing you need to get out of your mouth is alcohol, 100% if you've got high uric acid. Number 2 is fructose. You've got to eliminate the fructose. That is by far the biggest thing that moves the needle on uric acid. Okay.
Abby, working and hearing from people on the carnivore keto diet, when do people start to lose weight? Is it based on how much you need to lose, your body type, your metabolism, age, hormones? Yes. Yep.
Gender, all that matters. Some people will start to lose weight in a day or two, and that's usually unhealthy fluid that they were retaining. They'll start to urinate that away. The fat loss usually begins on the 3rd or 4th day. And some people notice this immediately. Other people, it takes a few weeks for their metabolism to heal enough to burn fat. Some other people, it takes a few months. But either way, you're going to be getting healthy, eating a proper human diet.
Cecile, am I supposed to eat the fat from cooking hamburger meat, or should I pour it off? Well, okay. But some people find that it's hard to just pour the fat on hamburger. So what you want to do is season it. And the seasonings, as long as they're really good quality seasoning, check the back, check the ingredients, they kind of absorb the fat and stick the fat back to the meat.
Yes.
So you kind of want to cook it, season it, simmer it, and that sucks some of the fat back up. If you're someone who's sensitive to the tallow that comes off of
and you can also save it and cook your eggs in it the next morning.
It's true.
Absolutely.
Tomek, human teeth and intestinal design bring us much closer to herbivore animals rather than carnivore. Wouldn't be an argument we should avoid meat. This is one of my favorite arguments.
I'm glad you asked this, Tomek. So there are multiple things about human anatomy and physiology that show very clearly that we're meant to eat meat, okay? The paleoanthropological literature is very, very clear that for the last 2 million years, humans have been super carnivores, which means 70% of our food intake has come from animal products. We don't have big canine teeth. That is true. We don't have claws. That is true. And the most dangerous weapon that we have is not teeth or claws. It's this guy right here. This is what makes us deadly dangerous.
You can use
You
tools.
better watch a human being, because we don't have claws, but we'll make a spear and we'll throw it right through your heart, Tome. Okay,
Also,
and then we'll cook you and eat you. That's what humans do, and that's what we've been doing for 2 million years. Also, our stomach acid.
Okay, there we go.
Our stomach is more acidic than most other canines. Our stomach is also almost as acidic as buzzard or vulture gastric acid. And that's because when we were first evolving, we used to do a lot of scavenging. And we learned how to break open the bones and get the marrow out, because even lions can't do that. We used to break open the skull case and get the brain out, because other animals can't do that. Even the biggest carnivores don't know how to do that, but we could do that. And then we would come as a tribe and we would chase off the lions after they'd ate a little bit. There's evidence of this in the paleoanthropological record. There are multiple things. We have a very short
one stomach.
Yeah, we have one stomach, not a multi-chamber. Now, there are other monogastrics that do eat predominantly plants, but we also have a very small colon, and we have a very small cecum, and we have a very small abdominal cavity because of that, because we had to give up some gut to grow this big, dangerous brain of ours, right? And so we don't have this huge gut that a chimpanzee or a gorilla have, even though they have almost no muscle.
Are you going to make a whole video of
Yeah,
this?
they'll still have this big gut, and that's because they have to ferment all those plants they eat for 16 or 18 hours a day. They have to eat in order to get enough nutrition. They can break that down with the bacteria in their gut, and we don't have that access. So we have to eat fatty meat and eggs, just like we've done for the last 2 million years. That's it. I'm done.
Okay, good job.
Thank you.
I
Very
think
good question.
That answered your question. Unless you were a vegan, and then
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what
He
said.
sent us a super chat, so I think it was an honest
No,
question.
I'm just saying, like, most vegans will ask that question, and then it doesn't matter what your answer is.
But
They
we
still
don't
agree
have
with you.
fangs. Come on. This is not third
Okay,
grade.
Melissa, do I need bone broth or a supplement for extra collagen if I am doing keto? I'm in menopause and I have already lost a lot of hair.
There's lots of sources of collagen on a good, properly formulated keto diet. Go.
Quality bone broth indeed is one of the top ones. When I say quality, I mean
Make it yourself.
Make it yourself or buy some that is in the refrigerated section in a very nice health food store. It's
Or
going to
make
have
it yourself.
lots of. Wait, not everybody wants to do that. Okay?
It's easy.
It is easy once you've done it, but it's also very intimidating. So you can start out buying some. A lot of the really good health food stores now carry them. And how do you know that it's good? It's thick. It's gelatinous. It needs to be in the freezer. All right, because it can't just sit there or it will go bad. Butcher shops now are carrying more and more bone broth because they're learning we don't need to throw out the bones.
That's right.
We can make money if we make the bone broth. So.
The little membrane around a boiled egg that you usually peel off and throw away, that's pure collagen building blocks. The membrane on the back of those ribs that you peel off because it's tough, eat that. That's pure collagen building blocks. The gristle in your steak, pure collagen building blocks. The gristle in your chicken, eat it. It's pure collagen building blocks.
Kedar, A1C of 5.4, HDL 48, LDL 174, triglycerides 122, TC 221. Is the high LDL and TC a concern? Many thanks.
I don't think so, Kedar. There's still Kedar. I don't think so. I have several YouTube videos about these exact lab values. Dr. David Diamond, my friend, Diamond just like in a ring, he's a PhD researcher who's researched this all his life. And he says, I don't care what your total cholesterol and your LDL cholesterol are. I want you to have a normal HDL, which you do if you're a male. And I want you to have a normal triglycerides, which you do. So I think from your numbers, your A1C is 5.4, so you're in excellent metabolic health. I don't think you have anything to worry about. More research will make that definitively clear in the very near future.
Crystal, I'm 34 and I'm trying for baby number 2, but I'm wanting to transition to carnivore Ketovore.
Yep.
Any tips? Yes, go for it, sister. Eat it up. Come follow me on my YouTube channel if you want some inspiration. Currently pregnant.
I guess it's time.
Very pregnant.
Is it time?
Yeah.
Prove it. I don't believe you.
Also,
you can't eat meat and get pregnant. Like you know.
I am meat based. Every now and then I eat veggies. Prior to being pregnant, I ate almost no veggies at all. Mostly onions when I was eating anything. Dr. Kiltz, Kiltz, fertility specialist out of New York City. The cat. just about.
Is it KILZ or KILTZ?
KILTZ is what I said.
Kilts. I didn't know. I was honest.
He promotes a meat-based approach in his clients and has a lot of success in his. Not that you need fertility treatments, but that it's comforting to see a fertility specialist.
More and more
recommend this.
Fertility specialists
are jumping on board.
know that when you eat lots of fatty meat and eggs with the yolk, you're much more likely to get pregnant. 100%. Now, it doesn't fix every single cause of infertility, but any of the common ones, it's going to make them better.
Fertility optimizing.
That's it right there. Now, let's see. Let's see if it worked for Neisha.
Do you know how pregnant I am?
20-something weeks. 20 to 30 weeks.
I'm 26 weeks.
Boom! I got it.
4 days.
Yes.
And the only reason I know that is because my app told me.
Look at that.
This is where we are.
That is a baby built of meat and eggs.
And now that I am standing, I need to go to the bathroom.
Oh.
I changed positions and she moved. So this is where we are. We are keto. Some days are all meat and some days are mostly meat. And some days I do have more vegetables. But and I eat some berries and I drink a lot of electrolytes, which is why I'm going to have to take a little break for a second.
When you eat intuitively, when you're eating a proper human diet, if you can eat intuitively. And so some days she'll eat nothing but meat and eggs. Other days she'll be like, I feel like I need some of this or that. But when you're eating highly processed junk, you can't eat intuitively because those things inflame your system and they muck up your hormones and you don't know if you're full or hungry. All you know is you just want to eat more. So absolutely highly recommend if you're trying to increase your fertility and increase your risk of getting pregnant, you got to eat all the fatty meat and the eggs. You want to be eating a very high fat diet. Colleen says, why do people say they're not as sensitive to the sun when they eat carnivore? Excellent question, Colleen. We don't know exactly why that is, but what we think is going on is when you're not eating mostly meat, you're eating lots of vegetable oils that are very high in omega-6s and very low in omega-3 fatty acids. And these omega-6 fatty acids get incorporated into the cell membrane of your skin cells. And that's not the kind of fat you want your skin cells to be made of. You want your skin cells to be made of the fat that comes from a proper human diet, an ancestrally appropriate diet. And when you eat lots of fatty meat and eggs with the yolk, then you're going to use the right fat to build the cell membranes of your skin. And I'm actually one of those people, Colleen. I was the guy that would say, hey, beep, wake me up in 10 minutes when I was at the beach. And I would have to go get under the umbrella after 10 minutes. My kids would be playing, be like, Daddy, come play. I'm like, I got to get under here. I'll burn.
A lobster.
I'll be a lobster. I'd have blisters. I'd be miserable the rest of the vacation. Now I can stay in the sun 4 times longer easy. And I can actually tan now, even though I'm still a redneck. I can get a tan.
Now his tone is red. We get this a lot. Are you sunburned, Dr. Barry? He's never sunburnt anymore. No, he has red skin. That's just his skin color.
I mean, Rudy.
He's got a lot of Scotch Irish in him.
Yes.
Bria, this is a great question. We got some mamas in the house tonight. If you're a mama or a mama to be, or if you're trying to be a mama, come follow me.
Neisha is your resource. She's a labor and delivery nurse.
Well, I was until I became a stay-at-home mommy.
Yep. But she's also working on getting her certification as a doula and as a lactation consultant. And what else?
Birth educator.
This woman is all things about the knocked upness.
I love working with mamas. It's my true passion. I almost went into midwifery, but life took me a different path. So this is how I'm still getting that interaction with my mamas. So Bria wants to know, she's trying to lose weight and get pregnant. She's starting keto carnivore again. The naturopath put her on myo-inositol and berberine for PCOS. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think those are fine for now. Bria, very important concepts is you need lots of protein and lots of fat. That's what's going to tell your body that it's the right time for you to have a baby. Okay. You do not, Bria, portion control at all. You do not calorie restrict at all. You eat fatty meat and eggs with the yolk until you're comfortably stuffed. You do that twice a day, 3 times a day. You're trying to convince your body that this is a time of plenty. This is not a famine. And if you calorie restrict or portion control, your body's like, I don't know. There's not a lot of food. I don't know. So also, if you're eating nutrient void processed crap, you're not going to be giving your body the right signal. Because it's like, we're low on vitamins and minerals. This is not a good time to have a baby. You need to be eating. You need to find some liver that you like. Neisha has a great chicken liver recipe
you can also
on her channel.
buy really good pate now.
it. Yes, liver pate of any kind, Braunschweiger. You need to be eating red, fatty meat, eggs with the yolk, and some kind of liver that you can find that you enjoy. And then obviously the thing in the bedroom. All that together equals
Baby.
Boom.
Hopefully.
Baby boom.
Thanks for the question. I saw somebody asking about Granny Berry.
Yes, Granny Berry, my 92-year-old grandmother who
92.
looks 82
Going on
and
72.
acts 52 is watching this evening. She just had a birthday last week, and we were with her, and she's as feisty and spunky as ever. Hey, Granny Berry. Will you guys tell Granny Berry hi and where you're watching from?
She loves seeing
where
everybody's from. It's one of her favorite pastimes. And then she'll call us and tell us, did you know you had somebody you had 3,100 people watching you? She loves it. So hi, Granny Berry. We love you. Also, someone said, Dr. Berry, you killed it at Keto Salt Lake.
Oh, thank you very much, Marnie. Thank you. I think that video is available on the Keto Chow YouTube channel.
Yes. It was, I mean, I'm a little biased, but that's one of the best presentations he's ever given. So if you missed that, go check it out. Keto Chow's YouTube channel.
Thank you very much, wifey. That was very sweet.
Well, sometimes
I'll pay you later.
Sweet. Sometimes I'm sweet.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes.
Mostly I'm salty.
Yes.
Especially while pregnant.
Andrea's watching from Northern Ireland. I want to go to Ireland so
what's
bad.
Up, Ireland?
And see my people.
You're my people too. You're mostly Scottish.
I'm a mutt.
Did you have something that you
I got some. I'm looking to see.
The Parsley Place. My husband was found to have alpha gal, and they said he can't eat red meat. We were both doing so much better on carnivore. Do you have any ideas?
Yeah, so alpha gal means that you're potentially allergic to mammal meat. Okay, so you can still eat all the seafood. You can eat all the poultry, and I don't think those. You can eat pork. Pork maybe not, but all of the poultry, all of the seafood you can eat, and so you can carnivore just fine on those. It may not be to your taste liking, but you can get all the nutrition, especially if you're adding some shellfish and some mussels and some crustaceans from the ocean in your diet. Somebody asked earlier about seaweed. I think seaweed's fine if you like the taste of it. Get the lowest carb with just salt added. You can eat it that way. It's a very great source of iodine, as is anything that comes out of the ocean. So yeah, seaweed's fine. But if you got alpha gal, you got to avoid the mammals. And typically that lasts for 3 months to a year. And then that allergy peters out and goes away. And then in a year or so, you can eat your ribeye again.
Sam said, I just had a baby in January. Congratulations. But I had stage 4 placenta at only 7 months, which means she was close to cutting off baby's nutrition. Would eating more red meat help next time?
This was probably one of the accidents that is life. This is probably, you didn't cause this, okay? This is just something that happens very rarely to some pregnant women. Carnivore is definitely going to help you have a wonderfully beautiful and intelligent, happy baby. But you're probably that, even if you got pregnant 10 more times in your life, that's probably not going to happen again. It's very rare.
Kayla. Oh my God, there's so many mamas in the chat tonight.
I love it.
Kayla says, I'm 2 months postpartum. Good job, mama. I'm breastfeeding.
Beautiful.
Good job, mama. And I'm wanting to continue eating a keto lifestyle. What foods do you recommend I consume more of to help me transition and keep up my milk
she's
supply?
starting keto.
Okay, she's starting keto.
So go ahead. Yeah, talk to this mama. Teach her.
First of all, go subscribe to my channel because lots of content coming up about this, okay? The main thing is keep the pumping, if you're going to pump, and breastfeeding up. If you see your supply maybe going down, add in some pumping to your schedule, lots of skin to skin, increase your salt intake, and make sure you're eating enough. A lot of times when mamas transition from the standard American diet back to keto, they're eating more protein and eating more fat, which tends to be more satiating, and so they eat less. So you got to make sure that you're still eating enough calorically.
Very important. Very important.
Which means maybe transition slowly.
Yeah,
also.
I think that's fine. Yeah.
Turn the carb knob down maybe 20 grams per week. There's no race. You're doing great. Your milk supply is the most important thing. Okay. So that's the main thing. Transition slowly. Increase feedings if you see the supply drop a little bit. Lots of skin to skin. Lots of salt. Lots of water.
Lots of
food.
I really think that the breast stimulation, either by baby or pump, skin to skin with you and the baby, nothing between you, skin to skin, lots of water, lots of love, lots of hugs and kisses. I think at least initially, That's the main thing.
It's
to
initially
stimulate.
and afterwards.
Yeah.
It's breast milk is supply and demand more than anything. Meaning
100%.
that
100%.
the more you say the baby needs, whether it's by pump or the baby, the more your body's going to be like, oh, we need to make more milk. So as long as you're eating enough, getting enough salt and electrolytes and enough water, then you'll be able to increase that. So.
Yep. Corey, we've seen multiple people with gastroparesis, typically from uncontrolled diabetes for years and years. They can slowly transition, over a 1 month to 3 month period of time from the high carbohydrate processed crap that the American Diabetes Association recommends, switch slowly over to a natural whole food ketogenic diet. We've noticed that the symptoms of gastroparesis get substantially less severe when eating a proper human diet. And speaking of proper human diet, we actually have t-shirts now. We have sweatshirts. We have hoodies. We have tank tops. There's a link in the show notes if you want to show the world that you eat a proper human diet.
For you trendy ladies, I'm getting us fanny packs.
Also, coffee mugs are coming and caps.
But fanny packs.
Fanny packs. But now, there's some guys that rock a fanny pack.
Yeah, sure.
Not me, but there's some guys that do that.
I'll be posting that on Instagram. So for those of you interested, Chaz says 61-year-old male, CAC of 160, recent abdominal CT showed aortic calcification, but was not noted by a radiologist. Is this a concern beyond the CAC?
Yes, Chaz. That means you 100% need to tighten your diet up 100%. If you're using any kind of tobacco, that needs to stop immediately. I would cut the alcohol down to as close to 0 drinks a day as you can get it. And you need to eat lots of fatty meat and eggs with the yolk. Add a few low-carb veg, add a few low-carb nuts, add a few low-carb berries. I've got YouTube videos about every single thing I just talked about on this YouTube channel. Check it out right after this live.
Somebody said, I'm so tired of autocorrect. I don't know what you said, but that's funny. Me too.
Yeah, me too.
It never says what I wanted to say.
You want to tell them what's going on?
Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you, Carrie.
What do I need to say?
You want to tell them about the little beach?
Oh, okay.
retreat?
So if you are in the Panhandle of Florida area, there is a beach retreat that Ken and I will be at on May 8th. And it goes through the 14th. We'll be there the first 3 days, and then we have a prior engagement in Orlando. If you want to attend this, it is being put on by Rebecca Farmer. Her Instagram and Facebook is Tailored Health.
I thought it was Tailored Keto.
Tailored Keto. Sorry.
Well, I just typed it into the chat.
She's the one who is putting it together. It's an all-inclusive package. You get to stay at this beautiful beach house and hang out with us, eat a lot of meat, learn a lot of things. She is great. We are so excited. If you are interested in that, he put the link, Yeah,
I put it in the chat box.
It's tailoredketo.health.
Yes.
And there are tickets still available.
Well, now, what's the city?
It's at Miramar Beach, which is close to
Miramar Beach.
What is it? The really pretty 30A area. It's very nice. It's very bougie, as Rebecca said. Those are her words, not mine. I've never actually been there, but we're super excited. And it's a way, if you want to get some real intimate time with us, it's a very small event, which is why it's a little bit pricey. But like I said, it's all inclusive, including your meat. Meat and everything? Yeah. Boom. So, there you go. Go check it out if you're interested in that. We're so excited. Spoon says he's watching from Antarctica, but what? I don't believe Spoon. Please tell me there's somebody watching from Antarctica. That would be the coolest thing. That's the only continent I've never seen a comment from. Anybody? Anybody at all? Melissa says, if we aren't making enough milk, maybe if we're not eating enough, can we add keto shakes to get enough milk? Sure. Yeah, sure. If your appetite won't let you eat more food. Yes. I would say make sure you're getting a really high quality protein shake. The Quit brand, the Health, what is it? HLTH. Yeah, that brand is really good. I think there's one more and they're all bovine protein, which means it comes from beef, grass-fed beef. I think, that's totally fine. And that's an exception because, you got to eat, okay? If you're not getting enough food, then you can't make enough milk. Superstar Status said, you said carnivore heals ulcers, right? Ulcers, stomach ulcers? Like stomach ulcers? Yeah. Also leg ulcers, foot ulcers, any chronic wound that won't heal anywhere in or on your body is virtually 100% of the time
going to improve when you stop eating a high carbohydrate, highly processed diet full of sugars and grains and vegetable seed oils, and you start eating a proper human diet. Yes, that's going to heal that. Now, if you have a stomach ulcer, you need to take a month of the proton pump inhibitor your doctor gave you. You'll need that to give it time to heal. But after that, you can transition over to keto, ketovore, carnivore. And I don't ever hear anybody in this community saying, "Oh, I was just diagnosed with a new ulcer." Never happens.
Sorry, back to Melissa about the protein shakes for
Yes.
breastfeeding. I'll make sure you don't just use water. Throw some heavy cream in there too, even some butter.
Yes.
You'd be surprised how tasty
Yes.
butter in a protein shake is.
Another thing you can put in a protein shake.
Egg yolk.
It's an egg yolk or two. You cannot taste them. If you blend it up, froth it up, you will not know they're in there, and you just put a multivitamin in there.
But honestly,
Yes.
if you're like, I can't do an egg yolk, I know it's fine.
It's fine. But that's you should do that. Try it one time. I promise. If you can't stand the thoughts of it, have your husband sneak and do it, and then lie to you that he didn't put them in there, because you still won't be able to tell. I promise. I do that to her all the time.
He thinks that I can't taste it. I can taste it.
She can definitely not taste it.
David is a ketovore, 3 months. No Humalog, 2 months. Still on Tracebia.
Yep.
Stopped the L-Glutamine in Vocana.
Yep.
And changed my lisinopril HCTZ to drop HCTZ. Do I still need CoQ10?
Yeah, David, if you're over the age of 40, you're still taking multiple prescription medications. You probably would benefit from 200 milligrams of coenzyme Q10 or ubiquinone once a day, just until you can wean down and stop more of those medications.
Stan, what's up, Stan? Thank you so much.
Thanks, Stan.
Linda wants to know, can keto help with nerve damage?
100%, Linda, both with the small pain fibers, the C fibers, and then with the longer axons that are myelinated. All of these nerves function better and heal quicker when you're eating a proper human diet. So 100%, I've got videos on this channel about neuropathy and many other nerve issues like that.
Mm-hmm. Gregory, I could use a bit of good advice on how to get back on keto to help me get back on track. I've lost 75 pounds since 2020, but I put 10 back on last month. Good advice to stay on and to not fall off in the future.
First of all, I hear this all the time on keto and no other diet. Every other diet in the world, Weight Watchers, Swim Fast. Oh, I lost 75 pounds and then I gained back 80, right? Only on keto do you lose 75 and then you gain back 10 or 15 or 20.
Did you see that?
First of all, that's awesome. What happened?
Toto jumped off the couch
we
before
heard.
they even got
Beckett's
near
coming.
here.
Beckett's coming.
Yeah.
So, secondly, I think you probably just need to cut the carbs down to as close to zero carbs as you can, and that's going to get you back in the saddle quicker. Now that you understand keto, you know you might have a few days of carbohydrate withdrawal, and you know that's not dangerous. It's not going to hurt you. It's short term, and then it's going to go away. You want to get back in the saddle as quickly as possible and stay there. Okay?
I will say the best advice for you going forward is doing some mental health work and figuring out why you fell off, what triggered you, what could you do to prevent that from happening again by addressing that issue that popped up. Like, was it a person? Was it a situation? Was it an emotion? We practice stoicism in this house, which helps a lot of the clients that I work with.
It's not a religion.
It's not.
Some people think it's a religion. It's not.
It's not.
It's just a way of dealing with the world.
Yeah. A way to let things go and gain control over your emotions instead of letting your emotions control you. So that, and also a support system. I have a free support group. You can find that linked over on my YouTube channel. It's just nice people hanging out, discussing their struggles and their wins, and that's very important too.
Daniel has a big question about type 2 diabetes. He's newly diagnosed. Daniel, you didn't ask your question, but I've got multiple videos on this channel about type 2 diabetes. Okay, so after this live, just go to YouTube and search Dr. Berry type 2 diabetes, and you can watch them all. You can reverse your type 2 diabetes within 3 to 9 months. It'll be gone. Come say hi to everybody. Granny Berry's watching.
Hey, we need to work.
You want to do your work?
We need help.
Depending
on the day, he's either like, I want to help you, or he's like,
Somebody also asked, they said they have a severe wheat and nut allergy, and what should they do about that? Don't eat wheat or nuts. You don't need them. There's nothing in wheat, definitely nothing in wheat that your body needs at all. There's nothing in any nut that you can't get better from meat. and eggs and green veg. Just don't eat nuts. Don't eat wheat. I'm glad you're allergic to those things because that's going to help you lower the carbohydrate intake.
Melissa says keto chow shakes or is Equip better for breastfeeding? I would say go for the best quality. I love keto chow.
Yep, me too.
They're very supportive of us.
We love them.
But I would not recommend them over Equip. I just wouldn't.
Or HLTH.
Because there are not bovine protein.
That's right.
And they're not as good as the sweeteners aren't as good in them either. It's just Equip is better. Sorry.
Yep.
But it is what it is.
Thank you, TNS, for the super chat.
Chrissy, my 8-year-old is a type 1 diabetic. Any advice?
Chrissy, if your goal for your 8-year-old is to have a normal A1C and to live a long, healthy, normal life and keep their eyes working and keep all of their toes and keep their pelvic region working, keep their heart working, keep their kidneys working optimally, then you've got to go and watch my videos about type 1 diabetes on this channel. As soon as this live is over, I've got 2 or 3, maybe 4. But basically, if you get your little one now, and you can transition slowly because a type 1 diabetic doesn't need to switch overnight because then they'll be on way too much insulin. You're going to very slowly wean down their carbohydrate intake as you work with their doctor. You heard that part, right? To slowly decrease the insulin that they use. The average type 1 diabetic can have a normal A1C within 3 to 9 months and be using 80 to 90% less insulin on a daily basis, Chrissy. And once you're using that low amount of insulin and you're eating all the healthy fat and healthy protein and very, very low carb, you're just not going to have hypos anymore. It's impossible for them to happen. It's only when you're using high amounts of insulin and eating high amounts of carbs, that's when you're going to miscalculate or misjudge and you're going to have a low blood sugar incident. Okay. I'm so glad that you've discovered this, Chrissy, now that your little one's only 8. They're probably fairly newly diagnosed, so there hasn't been a lot of damage done. And you can absolutely protect them for the rest of their life by teaching them to eat a proper human diet. I'm so glad that you caught this.
Hang on, I'm sorry.
What are you doing?
Several of you asked again for the link to the beach retreat. It is pinned in the comments now. I'm not sure that I think you need, so her email, let me show you my computer. Her email is in the top left corner up here. It's rcfarmer18@gmail.com. That's who you're going to contact. So just send her an email and she will send you all the information, pricing, and all that stuff. And that's how you'll get to hang out. I'm so excited.
I love it. That's going to be so much fun. Thank you, Jenna, for the super chat. Shafat's got a question. Why my doctor doesn't want to help my diabetes? One said type 1, one said type 2. I took metformin and insulin when I was pregnant. And now with keto, 1 hour, sugar is 90, fasting 105, no medicine. I don't know, Shafat. Doctors are very busy. Doctors believe certain things that are just not true. I used to believe this, Shafat, back in 2003. I thought that you were just stuck with diabetes. Just take a bunch of medicine and eat whatever you wanted. Now I know that if you're type 2, you can completely reverse that so that you have a normal A1C. If you're type 1, you can absolutely have a normal A1C and use 80 to 90% less insulin and live a long, healthy life. I don't know, Shafat. I would love to. I'll love it when the day comes that every doctor on the planet knows that if you're a diabetic, the next words out of their mouth is you need to eat a very low carb diet. The American Heart Association and the American Diabetes Association both now recommend a low carb diet as one of the options for diabetics, both type 1 and type 2, and gestational diabetes as well, and LADA and type 1.5. All of them can benefit from eating a low carbohydrate, proper human diet.
Boink says, go buy Dr. Berry's book, Lies My Doctor Told Me.
Hey, thank you, Boink.
Oh, what is happening?
I don't know.
Do you see that?
Oh, are we locking up?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. That's weird.
Hang on. Let's see if it gets better.
Heidi says, is alpha-gal caused from a tick bite? Yeah, currently that's what it looks like. If a tick has a certain enzyme, then it can make you allergic to a sugar that's on the cell membrane of mammal meat. It's not permanent. You can still eat all the seafood. You can eat all the poultry. David's type 1 diabetic, and he said, I just gave some very good advice. Thank you, David.
Yeah, that's buffering. I don't know what's happened to that.
Does it look good over there?
No, that's why I'm saying.
I don't know. I don't see any comments.
Diane, yeah, it says buffering. Diane, how do I do Patreon? How do I get to the Patreon?
So there's a link down in the show notes. If you've got a question for me that didn't get answered tonight, you can become a patron. And for $5 a month, you're going to get access to 2 more live Q&As a week on Patreon. And instead of 3,000 people watching, there's going to be 100, 150 people. So I can answer every question in much more detail. We have different levels. If you go up a level, then you've got access to 3 live Q&As a week. If you go up another level, you've got access to 4 extra live Q&As where I can answer all your questions in great detail. And also you can just send me a direct message if you can't get your question answered any other way. There's a link down in the show notes. And it's a quick sign up. It's very easy. You become part of a very, very popular and attractive and ethical crowd. Our Patreon tribe of people are just top of the line people. I met a ton of our patrons at the event in Salt Lake City, Utah this week, and it was wonderful to meet them. I posted a picture of all of them with me on my Patreon. So if you got a question that you need the answer to, become a patron.
Oh, let's do that. Whew. If you want to see the video of Dr. Berry speaking, all you got to do is type into YouTube Keto Chow. Their channel will pop up. It's a logo that says Keto Chow. You click on that and then just straight scroll till you find his video.
I saw a good question. Now I can't find
David, love you guys, and I mean it. Wife and keto 1 year now, carnivore, down 70 pounds and in great health.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Hey, Paul. I saw where you just joined. What have you been doing? Paula's in my group. So if you want to hang out with me on a closer level, you can go to my health coaching group, which is nsbwellness.mn.co. You can find all this information if you go to my Instagram at nsb.wellness. The link in the bio is directly to my coaching group.
Yes. You got one over there, or you want me to find one?
True Blue said they sent one, and I don't.
True Blue, we can't see it anywhere. Have you already got Nostradamus?
No, go.
Okay, Nostradamus says, why do ketone levels fluctuate during intermittent fasting and on carnivore? Still in ketosis, but from moderate to trace and back. Nostradamus, your ketone levels are just like your blood sugar levels. They fluctuate constantly over the course of the day. Even over the course of an hour, they're going to change continuously based on hundreds of different things that are going on with your physiology. Now, eating a very low carbohydrate diet is going to keep your blood sugar low and keep your ketones higher than they would be otherwise. But it's impossible for you to say, okay, I want my ketone level to be a 2.0 and stay right there. That's never going to happen. That's not how the human body works, okay? So as long as you're 0.5 or higher, then you're in ketosis. You're doing a great job.
True Blue, 4 years of
you found it. Great.
Limesaline antibiotic.
I think he's got Lyme disease and taking doxycycline, 4 months of chemo. Why did you have chemo? Carnivore for 3 weeks, but irregular bowels. Is a 12.5 billion probiotic good? Yes, it is. Get it from the refrigerated section. Can I add L-Glutamine to help heal leaky gut? You can add it, but you can also just get it from the meat and the eggs that you eat. And so it's very common for somebody when they start a carnivore diet to have some either a little bit of constipation or a little bit of diarrhea for a week or two as their gut bacteria transition to a proper human diet. And after that, your bowel movements are going to be pristine and wonderful and almost give you a sense of bliss. Yes.
I think you had some.
Michael wants to know, how should underweight kids gain weight in a healthy way? Well, Michael, first of all, you need to figure out, are they truly underweight, or are they just are they a healthy weight, but they look skinny around all their friends?
They're going through a stage. They
could be going through a stage. They may have went through a growth spurt and they gained 3 or 4 inches in height, and that makes them skinny temporarily. As long as you're providing all the proper human diet food that they could want, there's always meat, there's always eggs, there's always bacon, there's always some veg, there's always a few berries, a few nuts. As long as that stuff's available, then if they're hungry, they're going to eat, and they're going to eat until they're full, unless you tell them, now that's too big of a portion. Don't you eat all that. Never say that to a child.
She's not, because her kids are underweight.
Yeah, any of you guys, but anybody watching, never say that to a child.
I did not break 100 pounds until I was a freshman in college.
Yeah.
I think everyone
we were both
thought I had an eating disorder until they saw me eat at lunch. The whole freaking
And I used to eat like a horse. And when I was a senior in high school,
friends.
I was 6'3" and I weighed 180 pounds. Anybody looking at me be like, he's underweight. That's just the weight I was. I ate like a horse, and you ate like a horse, and you were 90.
My friends hated me because I could eat my food and their food and stuff from the vending machine and an entire pizza and not gain any weight.
Yep.
I was skinny bitty, bony. I got made fun of. I was a string bean. It wasn't because I wasn't eating enough food. It's just because.
As long as they're active and they can keep up with their peers activity-wise, as long as they're smart, as long as they're making decent grades, let them eat until they're full, and then let them go play. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not saying I was eating healthy. I wasn't.
No, I wasn't either.
I should have been huge.
Now, Granny Berry would crack the whip, and I had to eat my meat and vegetables, but then I sure enough had some dessert after.
Did you do Nostradamus already?
I did. Tell Vicky she wants to know those brands again of the shakes.
So Equip brand protein.
EQUIP.
Mm-hmm. It's a premier protein that has several different flavors. I like the chocolate the best. And then I can't remember what
it's health code, I think, HLTH.
And they're both bovine grass-fed beef protein.
Yes, those are the best.
All right. Oh, I've got to go. My child is.
Okay. I'll get this one from Greener Fields Lawn Care. How can I fast while being an outside laborer in Georgia in the summer? So Greener Fields Lawn Care, I typically work outside anywhere from 12 to 16 hours a day. And I come in and I break my fast and I eat somewhere between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. I don't eat all day, and I'm out in the field with the animals. I'm out in the woods with the chainsaw. I'm doing farmer work, which is pretty darn labor intensive. And I don't eat anything. I have a cup of coffee or two in the morning, and then I go to work. You don't need to eat. If you've got stored body fat, that's what you're going to be burning for fuel while you're out there working like a dog, like you and I both do.
Make sure you're fat adapted.
That's right.
That's very important.
Very important. Keto adapted. Don't say you're fat. They'll trigger. They'll trigger. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll be back next Monday night, same time, same channel. Go follow this one on YouTube and Instagram. That's where she does the majority of her work, and she does so much good work for the health of women, whether they're trying to conceive or breastfeed or just trying to be their best female self.
Come hang out with me. Let's be friends. Let's be besties. Natalie, I saw your comment.
Yep. If you are not a patron yet, if you join, we'll be doing another live just like this tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Central. And instead of 3,000 people, there will be 200 people, maybe 250, and we'll answer lots more questions. See you tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Bye.
I clicked, nothing happened. I clicked, nothing happened.